Good morning, good evening, everybody. It is Saturday, December 21st, and you know what that means. It is time for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, Jeremy Pierce. Christmas time, y'all. Remember, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Welcome. Don't forget to check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course the 215 on Twitter. And today's show, well, it was originally supposed to be my favorite matches of 2024. Before that, it was supposed to be the top matches of 2024, but we're going to say that for the cutters. But today's show, it's about reflection, and it's essentially about the future of the channel. I was sitting here getting ready to do the matches, and like, you know what? Let's just reflect and come up with a plan. And I won't be before you very long, so just give me 15 good preacher minutes. But for now, you know what's next, so just go on and hit my music. All right. Where do we start? Now, I always have an outline, so I can always go off of that. I love doing this, right? I enjoy doing this, but there are times where I tell myself that, is it worth it? Why am I doing this? I'll probably answer that question at some point. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but it will get answered. So here on the channel, Charismatic Creations. So Charismatic Creations was supposed to be more than just a wrestling channel. It was supposed to encompass two things that I enjoy immensely and that I know, well, two of the three things that I enjoy immensely and that I know a lot about: professional wrestling and movies and television. And it started out that way, and then the professional wrestling just took over. And I can understand why. But we got to get back to doing both. So let's take a look at the year, this past year in a nutshell. And the one thing that, I am very much proud of is consistently making the main show being the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. And without a shadow of a doubt, that will always get done. But where I started lacking was the High Risk Wrestling Recap. That should be done on Sunday, and it started moving towards Monday. And actually, I think I like doing it on Monday. Not doing it on Monday, but getting it out early Monday, because my week goes from the wrestling week goes from Monday to Sunday, and I think that's cool. But we consistently get out the main show. It's hard doing a show every single week, but somehow it gets done. Now it's easy. Not easy. It helps when there are wrestling pay-per-views and we can use the main show to focus on that. That takes up what? Between AEW and WWE, 20 out of the 54 shows. And we have, the other side shows, mini shows like Faction Warfare, Master of Disguise, and I like doing the new Ballad series. So we have things that we can definitely talk about. I got the list out. I just need to do more lists, and they're hard, but they're not hard, if that makes sense. There's always something you can do. And the funny thing is, when I'm talking about the list, I'm talking about doing separate lists for their own video and not the mini list inside the High Risk Wrestling Podcast, because that comes easy when you have a show to talk about. So we just gotta keep getting those out. Something we introduced was the Let's Talk About It show. Now, Let's Talk About It could essentially be part of the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. It could essentially be something that a show could be built around, but I don't really build around, and I don't want it to go more than 5 to 6 or 7 minutes, because if it starts reaching 10 minutes, then it starts becoming about becoming equal to the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. I don't want that. I want Let's Talk About It to be something quick. I wanted it to spurn discussion, that I want to see hits and comments and people having a discussion. That's where we're going to talk about moving that to another specific place. I finally made a TikTok. I hate TikTok. I just don't like it. I, for the longest, stuck with YouTube and stuck with Instagram, and I still prefer YouTube, and I still very much prefer Instagram, but I understand now finally and fully that I had to be on TikTok. And it's been good. It's been helpful. I do get the hits. I understand the appeal now of being on TikTok. The main thing is keeping that feed to where I want it. Don't be throwing me random stuff that I have no interest in. Keep it strictly to wrestling. Keep it strictly to movies and TVs and comic books. So making that TikTok definitely should have happened a long time ago, but it's there, and I know exactly what I'm putting on TikTok, and it's very easy to really plan that out. So that's going to keep getting done, and I'm slowly, surely getting followers. It's growing. I've seen growth this year. I want to keep growing. We're working on getting monetized, but that comes with growth. That comes with putting out consistent content. That comes with constant and consistent engagement. And there's a lot of content. Just like as there's a lot of content, there is a lot of professional wrestling. So getting these followers helps, and I need to start, diving into more facets of the professional wrestling business. Mainly, our show is about AEW, WWE, and then and TNA, and then to a lesser extent, NXT, Ring of Honor, New Japan. Then occasionally we'll focus on the indies when the mood or the time calls for it. So there's a lot of wrestling, which means there's a lot of content. So we just have to figure out how to utilize all of that wrestling to keep the content coming, to get the followers, to get the growth. And yes, I was focusing on Reddit content, but I started neglecting it. And I have a bunch of posts on Reddit that say that I definitely want to talk about, that I definitely want to spurn the discussion. And maybe that can meld with the Let's Talk About It. I want to really, really figure that out. But that was the year that we had so far, and I'm not disappointed. I'm happy with what we've done. But here's what should have been, and the one thing that, look, I don't have a lot of regrets. I don't have many regrets in life, really. I could not get this website made, and it hurts. It hurts going back and forth between WordPress and Tumblr and Blogger. Nothing really stuck. If Facebook could figure out a way to add, I don't know, a blogging website, a bit something, I would do that. If I could figure out the ins and outs of Tumblr like I had before, I'd be on Tumblr right now. And WordPress is nice, but something wasn't working, and they weren't giving me a lot of help. So in 2025, I have to get this website built. Website, a blogging page, and if Facebook could really figure itself out, that would be good. If they could just add, I don't know. Like I have a business page on Facebook, but what good is that if I can't put like documents on it, if I can't put articles on it? So I need to figure out a website. I need an online presence other than just Facebook. I have Facebook, I have YouTube, I have Instagram, I have TikTok, I have Twitter, and another piece that I've just totally forgotten about is Patreon. I need to do something with that, and I gotta figure that out. And we gotta stick. Look, I gotta stick to the schedule. I make a schedule for every single month, and more often than not, I get what needs to be done. But there are times where I don't do the Flashback Friday, I don't do the list, I don't do the talk about it, because I get distracted, and that's not good. Sticking to the schedule is of the utmost importance. That is what I have to do. Plain and simple. That's what I have to do. That's what goes back to the consistency. It goes back to the growth. Just sticking to the schedule. And that'll all flow. I wanted to get articles done. That comes with the website. Like, I didn't just want to have a sound component for the High Risk Wrestling Podcast or the recap. I wanted you to be able to go online and say, well, let me read this. Let me check this out. Have some pictures, something you can scroll through, and all these articles. Like the Let's Talk About It could be an article. The list could be an article. The podcast and the recap can be articles. It's just right there for the taking. A lot of this leads back to just getting the website built. That should be the number one main goal for me in 2025, getting the website built. And ultimately, I made a TikTok. I should not neglect the TikTok. So essentially, right? Honestly, the TikTok content should be on TikTok. It should be on YouTube. It should be on Instagram. Those three should go hand in hand. They should just be thrown out there. If you see on Instagram, it's on YouTube. You see on YouTube, it's on TikTok, and so on and so forth. Just don't neglect it. Same thing with the TikTok. More YouTube shorts. Those are the same thing. Those are the exact same thing. If you see it on TikTok, you should see it on YouTube. If you see it on YouTube, you should see it on Instagram. If you see it on Instagram, you should see it on TikTok. You should see all of this. You know what I mean? And again, it's not easy, because there are days where you just don't want to do it. But this is something that I want to do. Not neglect the TikTok. Make more YouTube shorts hand in hand, and make more Reddit content. I know we talked about this. I started off well. Need to bring it back. Needs to be consistent, because you know where this should be? On the damn website. It just needs to be on the website. That is it. I need to be consistent with what I make. I need to be consistent with the content. That was the mission statement. More content and be consistent. More content, be consistent. Be consistent and more content. And don't oversaturate it. How many black wrestling podcasters, bloggers do you know of? I want to stand out. I want to be someone say, oh wait, wrestling blogger, wrestling podcaster? Oh, go check out Jeremy Pierce from the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. That guy is good. You know what also I need to do? I have to do? It can't be just me. I want to get more guests on here. I want to get more special hosts on here, because I have a lot of wrestling friends that have their own mind, that have their own wealth and well of knowledge, and just want to have more fun. Start doing more games and quizzes, and I was doing all of that. Remember the SummerSlam games? Like, there's so much that can be done, and I just have to get there, be consistent with it. So we got to get there. Definitely miss the games, definitely miss the quizzes. And there's something that's easy to do, but it takes time to do them. And lastly, the movie and TV reviews. Man, oh man, oh man, I am really, really upset about myself for honestly neglecting this. I have 2 lists. They're extremely long, of TV shows and movies that I watched this year, and no reviews for them. Nothing. And I hate myself for it. Y'all know I love my movies. Y'all know I love my TV, and yet nothing. Don't even know if I reviewed anything this year. I know I didn't put anything on Facebook. Just got to add another level to this channel. And here's the thing. If this channel is ultimately not going to be about the movies and the TV, in addition to the wrestling, then the channel shouldn't be called Charismatic Creations. The channel should be the High Risk Wrestling Podcast, and everything that entails with the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. And that might be the way to go. Put the movie and TV shows somewhere else, come up with the name for that, and keep this as the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. As I'm saying it, that might be the way to go. And the website could be everything. Maybe make a second channel for just the TV shows and the review. Y'all. 2 separate YouTube channels. One is the High Risk Wrestling Podcast. The other being whatever I call the movie and TV reviews, or what the news is. Because now I'm thinking about what to do. If we better prepare, if we better schedule, if we make the website, we stay up on TikTok and Shorts, and we don't stop, things could turn out better than ever. Or just have everything on one channel. You see the crossroads that I'm at, everybody? We are going to figure this out. The future is bright. I am not stopping. 4 years. This is the 4th year of the podcast. This is the 4th year of the podcast. Next year's going to be the 5th year. Listen, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going, keep building, keep growing. I want you all to join me on this journey. Just be there with me. But that's our show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Look at the screen what we got coming up. Bunch of stuff down the pipeline. Check out the socials, Charismatic Creations on Facebook and YouTube, Charismatic_Creations52 on Instagram, and of course, the 215 on Twitter. And as always, Anna J, Willa Nightingale, Chris Statlander, Gigi Dolan, Bailey, and Isla Dawn. Holla at your boy. Peace.